This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
We continue our storm alert tonight with another chance of strong to severe weather moving in over the next 24 hours. That's after severe weather overnight that caused a few tornadoes, leaving behind this damage in Franklin County, Missouri. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. A confirmed EF1 tornado hit Sullivan before sunrise, destroying a bar and causing damage to the high school. We have storm alert team coverage. Our Annie Krall is live in Sullivan with a look at the cleanup now underway. But let's begin with Weather First meteorologist Jim Castillo. Jim?
Yes, 3 very weak spin-up tornadoes. It didn't last very long. Happened last night. Anywhere between 3:44 a.m. right around the Bourbon area, 3:45 a.m. for Sullivan. That was the strongest one, an EF1 with winds up to 100 miles an hour, and then Defiance at about 4:22 a.m. So we had some very active weather. We still are watching a few cells tonight, mainly on the Illinois side, so still watching a few with some thunder and lightning and downpours, sub-severe, but we do have Clay County in a tornado watch until 8 p.m. So what's of more concern is tomorrow, this orangish area here, this is just meaning 3 out of 5 for level of how much severe weather we're expecting. Likely numerous strong to severe storms as we get into tomorrow, and wind gust over 60 miles an hour, large hail, and also a few strong tornadoes can't be ruled out. So numerous storms. The timing on that is late morning, 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. And those threats, again, probably even more serious than what we've already had over the past couple of days. 60+ mile per hour winds, that large hail, and of course some strong tornadoes. Much more on this. I'll time it out for you in Futurecast coming up.
Tonight we're getting a closer look at the damage left behind at that bar in Franklin County, Missouri. This is on Highway 185 in Sullivan.
Annie Krall joins us live from outside the business in Sullivan tonight. She's hearing from the community now, cleaning up the debris left behind. And Annie, you've been reporting throughout the day. This is a very well-known, popular bar in that area.
Correct, Kelly, and that is the thing that we have to talk about right now. When it comes to tornado damage, it's never easy. In fact, it's always a challenge, but especially when it comes to a place that's this beloved. One More Pub and Grub has had many iterations over the last few years and has been a favorite of people in the Sullivan area. And when I was talking to many of the folks who were helping with cleanup with the tornado this morning, they said they feel like that tornado picked on this bar in particular. And when we were talking about everything that's been going on this morning with the tornado that came through, the storm hit the bar around 4 a.m., leaving behind a skeleton of wood, nails, insulation, watered down electronics, and anything you can think of that would be inside your typical local haunt, as if this bar got turned inside out from the 100-mile-per-hour winds. Jane Epperson has owned this bar for a decade and has hosted karaoke nights, family gatherings, and provided a space to make memories that's hard to get back. A regular who I spoke with, John Patterson, said his mom came here all the time. It was hard to keep his eyes dry, talking about what he saw this morning and how he wanted to help clean up to feel close to his mom. Norma stuttered after losing her to cancer less than a year ago, saying if Norma saw what her favorite bar looks like now.
Oh, God. She'd be in tears. She would be in tears. She loved this place. She'd get mad if we didn't have the gas, to come up here, and it was always, she was always short on gas, short on money, And she'd get mad if it snowed, She'd try every way in the world to make it here.
We've been asking all day if there's going to be a rebuild of One Pub and Grub, and if there's even a GoFundMe page to help with some of those reconstruction fees. And the owner, as well as people who are in that improvised cleanup crew, tell us that it's just too fresh to try and think about building One Pub and Grub from the ground up again. Reporting live in Sullivan, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
The tornado also caused some damage to Sullivan High School right by the bar. The damage was minor. No one was hurt. Students did show up today as usual.
An EF0 tornado tore down trees and power lines in Crawford County. This is the Bourbon area. It had 80-mile-per-hour winds and was only on the ground for about a minute. And you can stay updated with our chances for severe weather. We'll keep you updated on air, the 5 on Your Side app, ksdk.com, and 5+, or you can just text the word weather to 314-425-5355.
In the last half hour, a woman who died in a crash has been identified as a local middle school assistant principal. Sarah Howell worked at Confluence Academy in South City. Police say a car slammed into her car on Saturday at Big Bend and Geyer in Kirkwood. Police are still investigating what caused this crash. Nearly 8 months ago, Illinois became the first state in the country to abolish cash bail.
Experts now say they have enough data to start analyzing the radical changes to the criminal justice system. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, has more on what they're finding.
Kelly and Mike, the sky's not falling, the jail population is. And remember all those campaign season fears of a dramatic spike in crime or repeat offenders roaming free? Well, according to police, prosecutors, and public defenders, the opposite is happening. For a long time, the St. Clair County Jail has been overcrowded, but now
our jail population is actually down lower than what we've ever been in the past.
Across Illinois, more people accused of nonviolent crimes are going home to wait for their day in court.
They have GPS monitors, they have officers that'll go out and do home visits.
Illinois' new law to abolish cash bail says some defendants who get caught breaking another law while they're out waiting for their trial can go back to jail with no way out.
Absolutely, that's happening. That happens every day, and I will say that typically those are the offenders that would have posted bond and been back out into the community. So, in that instance, I do think that it's a little bit better for us that these people are now being held accountable and they're not out, continually victimizing the community.
Farther south,
the Pretrial Fairness Act, you don't have to like it, but it's working.
Jackson County Public Defender Celeste Carando says fears of a spike in crime were overblown and never materialized.
We're not seeing the recidivism. We're not seeing the people who are out on pretrial detention committing repeated new offenses.
Since Illinois abolished cash bail, jail population is down 16% statewide, 19% in St. Clair County, 21% lower in Madison, and down 40% in Jackson.
When it comes to rearrest rates, I think they're lower than they were under the cash system because the dangerous offenders are in custody.
Eric Reinhart is the top prosecutor in Lake County.
It's working. We're holding dangerous offenders so that they can't use cash to get out. It's working, and I think we're going to see crime rates go down, partially because of the Safety Act.
The system of paying bonds, paying ransom was never fair. It didn't work. It didn't keep us safer, and it had a real devastating impact on families across the state.
Cook County Public Defender Sharon Mitchell says the financial pressures of the old system drove desperation and crime higher.
There is a very convincing case, a case that I believe in, that short stays incarceration actually increase somebody's likelihood of returning to jail or being accused of harming somebody.
Most expert crime analysts want to look at larger sample sizes of data and compare year-over-year trends before they make a final analysis on whether crime went up or down. But even compared to seasonal averages, the jail populations are lower, and officials have not reported any alarming increases in crime.
Mark, thanks. The St. Louis chapter of the NAACP wants an audit into the Circuit Attorney's Office, and they want it to be released immediately. It comes after the Missouri State Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick claimed the report was delayed because they couldn't find former Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner. The Missouri's Auditor's Office has been investigating her since 2021. Kim Gardner resigned almost a year ago. Since then, they've been trying to subpoena her, but say they can't find her. Today, the president of St. Louis City's NAACP criticized the state auditor's plea for public help, saying that's the job of a process server.
I think it paints a picture that you're looking for a wanted criminal, and that's just not the case.
The auditor plans to release the report this year, sometime this year, with or without Kim Gardner's help. They've also asked if anyone knows where Gardner is to contact their whistleblower hotline. That number, if you want to help them, is 800-347-8597.